Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button right now. It's your host, F. Merritt. We got former strength and conditioning coach of Errol Spence, Mr. Blueray Fitness. What's going on, man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. First of all, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, the fight, everyone was anticipating. It finally happened. What was your reaction to that?
I hated it.
I mean, obviously, we know, why you hated it,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, lackluster performance, from Errol Spence. We know he's better than that. We know that.
Oh, that's a fact. All right, Earl way better than that, man. That wasn't the same Errol Spence I know, and I believe that if they can make the rematch and they do it at 54, I believe that it's gonna be way more competitive. In my personal opinion, I just hope Earl, whether he brings me back or not, I just hope he makes the proper adjustments. Has the perfect and proper preparation in going back into that fight.
How did Errol look to you? Did he look drained in your opinion? Did he look like something was wrong before the fight and during the fight?
Like I said, man, I don't use the weight drain thing because they both had to make the same weight. You know what I'm saying? So to say Earl was weight drained, well, we have to say the same thing about Terence Crawford because they both had to make the same weight. They both made the weight, and they already knew the weight they had to make prior to signing the contract. They knew years before what weight they were gonna have to be at. So being professionals and them, prepping for the fight, you just had to have the right people, doing your if you hire somebody to do a job, just hopefully they do it the right way. And like I tell people all the time, if you're making weight as a boxer, if you still cannot eat food, if you cannot drink water, then you're not doing it the right way. So, can't eat regular, can't drink water. And I'm not even saying, I'm speaking to the mass. I'm not just talking about, because I wasn't there, and Earl had a nutritionist that he dealt with. But because I've been making people lose weight forever. And when I trained Earl, I only did strength and conditioning. I never did his nutrition, even though I wanted to. But he had been making weight since the amateurs. So he one of those type people, and it's kind of funny, I'm going to say this, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that's kind of like an oxymoron because me and him trained 11 fights, had 11 stoppages together, and he ended up going with other individuals when it came to his strength condition. So it's kind of like a contradiction. But I just know that at that time, when I was telling him I could do his nutrition, he was like, nah, he got it because he's been doing it for so long. But I guess as he's gotten older, it's been a little different. But like I say, I that's what I do. I help people lose weight. I've been doing that for years, still doing it to this day. And if you can't drink water every day, you cannot eat regular every day. And when I say regular, I mean that whatever your actual goal weight is, according to your BMI, have the proper macronutrients to dive down to that weight, then you're not doing it the right way.
It was a doctor that recently came out and said Errol Spence shouldn't have been fighting. He looks like he had neurological damage. What's your thoughts on that?
That's not my lane, to be honest with you. But the last time me and Earl just really hung out was for the Super Bowl. I went over to his crib and we chilled out, me and my son. He had family over, his and people that rock with him. And, he seemed fine to me. Matter of fact, the day after the fight, one of my best friends, him and Earl be together all the time, and shoot, Earl was in the background kicking it, saying like wasn't nothing wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? He was, people were asking to take pictures and everything. So, cognitive function, I don't know. I hadn't seen nothing wrong with him. I hadn't heard nothing from anybody that's close to us. So, I can't say that what that guy's saying is false. I can't say that it's true. But his health is a priority. I can care less about boxing because he still got one thing about him. If you know him, he's a great father, and he here for his kids. So, I can care less about all that other stuff. But I pray that he still gets checked out, regardless, just to make sure.
Absolutely. You've been with him before the car accident, after the car accident. You haven't seen anything really different about him, since the car accident or anything just, besides the slurring, obviously he had to get some teeth, fixed here and there, but
Yeah.
there's nothing really major to be really concerned about.
From my observation, nothing.
Okay.
I can only speak from my observation. But I'm not around him every day like I used to be, so I just go from what I see.
I got you. Do you think he should take the immediate rematch with Terence Crawford, or do you think he should do a tune-up at 154?
I think he should do a tune-up. My personal opinion. Go do a tune-up.
Who would you like to see him fight at 54 for a tune-up?
I'm gonna say that if everything is 100% right with him and there's nothing wrong with him, no cognitive, I say go get Tim Tszyu.
Go get that WBO belt.
Yeah, go get that.
Yeah, make it bigger. You had the rematch. You got a belt at 154. Yeah, it makes sense. Do you think the year out of the ring played a factor as far as the weight cut is concerned?
I'm not sure, but I'm not a boxer. I'm more of a martial arts guy myself personally. But the one thing I can say is that a lot of the OGs in the game, and I'm talking about people that did it at the high level, and a lot of people that was going against Earl. When I say going against him, they were picking Crawford to win. A lot of them were saying that they feel like the layoff was his timing was going to be off. And if you watch the fight, in my opinion, his timing was off. So these guys did it. People like James Toney. I'm gonna just drop one name. He literally said that he believed that Earl timing wasn't going to be right. And so, and Mike Tyson even said something about Earl's timing. So it's like all the OGs that did it at a high level. That was the one thing they was talking about, Earl's timing, that might be off because of the layoff. So, I can only say, hey, they did it better than I could ever do it. So maybe they were right.
Yeah. Not making any excuses, but the rumor is everything went wrong in Errol Spence's camp that kind of prevented him from training at a high level. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, I know about it, but that's for him to speak on, not me.
But there was some things, that didn't go right like it normally would be.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what you're referring to. But like I said, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? It came from a credible source. I'm not going to speak about who, but from my understanding, that is a fact. Okay.
But there's no excuse. The better man won that night. It is what it is.
Yeah, Earl ain't no excuse. He said it. I'm not making no excuse. If I had one, I'm not going to tell you. So that's what everybody got to stand on that.
Yes, sir. No disrespect to Errol's new strength and conditioning coach, but in what areas would you have had Errol Spence maybe a better version of for this fight versus Terence Crawford?
You tell me.
I mean, he looked okay, but I mean, he didn't look like how you usually have him looking. You know what I'm saying?
You tell me.
Shit, that is what that is, man. I mean, besides the timing that we just talked about, what does Errol Spence need to improve on to defeat Terence Crawford?
I have no idea. Just being honest with you. Like I said, Earl he put his camp together the way he wanted to put together, that he saw what was best fit for him. So I'm not going to tell that man that what he did was wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's the decision he made. That's what he felt like was best for him. And so I support Errol Spence regardless. So at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. What made y'all split? What happened?
Ain't nothing happened.
It was just a business decision. That was it.
It had to be. It's his, you know what I'm saying?
If he called you for the next fight, would you be open to working with him again?
For sure, that's my brother. What you mean?
Okay.
Nah, I always open to work with, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, we locked in no matter what. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, me and Earl had a relationship outside of boxing. You know what I mean? I just wasn't his strength and conditioning coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, we locked in. So, whether it don't matter. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna rock with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just business. It ain't personal.
Yeah, it's show business for sure. Yeah, it's sure business. It
I
got
got you. Floyd Mayweather recently said he would like to see Errol Spence at 160 or 168. Do you think 168 is too big for Earl?
I'm not gonna say it's too big for him because I seen him, fight light heavyweights and for years, spar light heavyweights. So I don't believe it's too big, but I don't agree with Floyd though. Like campaigning at 68 now, I think campaigning at 54 and 60 is where Earl need to be at. My personal opinion. Now, because I say he was at 47 for so freaking long. You know what I'm saying? So right now at the stage of his career, I think to get the best out of him, 54 and 60 for sure.
Mm-hmm. The last fight you had with him was the Pacquiao fight. You was in camp for that, right?
Yes, sir.
How devastated were you when you heard, about the injury, the eye injury, and you had to pull out that fight with Pacquiao?
I was very devastated because, like I said, we had trained for 5 years. We did 11 fights. He had 11 straight stoppages, and so a lot of people was like, why he not training with Blueray? I didn't have an answer. You know what I mean? Me and him never talked about it. Like I said, we've been around each other outside of me not training him, and it never came up not one time because, like I said, we got a relationship outside of it, and I'm a real one. Like, I'm not sitting around worried about nobody training with me. I'm an asset. I know what I bring to the table. I'm a very valuable individual. So, that was the first fight I had got back with him. So I was devastated because I was like, there was a lot of people saying that, hey, he not working with you, why he wasn't working with me. They felt like we were beefing, all this whole extra stuff. And so people know the track record that we had in the past. So I wanted to see Earl stop Manny Pacquiao so they can, they can still see the work that, hey, that when Earl worked with me, it's a whole different caliber of Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a lot of haters, a lot of bloggers and doing all the extra talking, but I don't worry about none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I was devastated though, because I was like, hey, okay, Earl stopped Manny Pacquiao, now what? What y'all gonna say now? And every time he stopped somebody.
Nothing else to say.
It was devastating to kind of prove the naysayers and the haters wrong.
Yeah. It was a rumor that you and Devin Haney were supposed to be working together. Any truth to that?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. Looking forward to that, man. Any other fighters that you would be interested in working with in the future?
Whoever want to work with me, brother. That's what it's about. It's all about people that see the value in what I bring. They see that I put out. And whoever want to work with me and whoever cutting the check. Cause I got you. So.
Can I suggest Adrian Broner? Please. Like, we've been saying he needs you, man, for real. Salute to Adrian Broner, but he needs you, bro.
Yeah, man, bro. I'm rocking whoever rocking with me, man. You gotta be on the Blueray train, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. What do you say to all the Errol Spence haters that say he's done or he needs to retire after taking this L?
But people act like they ain't never seen somebody lose and then come back and beat the same person that they lost to. That's crazy. That is insane to me.
Yep. We got a couple fights coming up, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Canelo Alvarez taking on Jermell Charlo. How you see that going?
I honestly don't know how it's gonna go. I just know that Canelo got good reflexes. He's a good counterpuncher. We know Jermell gonna lead with the jab. So I feel like whoever the proper game plan gonna win that fight for sure.
Coming up from 154 to 168, do you have any advice for Jermell Charlo on how to put on the weight the right way?
Nah, man, he a naturally big guy. Nah, he not going up from 54 to 68. Like, he coming down to 68.
Yeah. I've stood next to him. Them Charlo's big, man.
That Jermell has to do anything special. I think just like I say, just make sure your macros is on point. Train properly. He gonna make 68 easy.
We got Devin Haney versus Regis PROGRAIS. You said you're working with Devin Haney very soon. How you think he's gonna do in this fight, going up from 135 to 140?
I think he'll be stronger for sure. I think Devin will be good. He'll be good. You know what I'm saying? He'll be good. He'll be stronger for sure.
We got Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. They talking about January. Listen, that's a fight that everybody's been wanting for years. Finally
True.
gonna get it in January. What's your thoughts on that?
Wilder touch that chin, man. It's night. No. Wilder touch the chin, man. He out of there.
Got Anthony Joshua, been working with Derrick James. I believe it was their second fight that just passed together. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with a good game plan.
That ain't got nothing to do with that chin. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he can work with him all he want. That chin, boy. If you ain't got one, you just ain't got one.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know what Wilder putting out.
That right hand crazy.
Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Haney's, was kind of tough for Joshua, even though Joshua did his thing. Mm-hmm. Wilder knocked that boy out the third round.
Yes, sir. Let the people know where they can reach you at, man.
Blueray Fitness on Instagram, Blueray Fitness on Twitter, Hard Truths with an S, Truth, TRUTH, Hard Truths Blue on YouTube.
All right. Mr. Blueray, we appreciate you for your time, man. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.